Ley Lines, The Key to Unlocking the Matrix. By Magdaline. July 27, 2016. Website: maggiesholistic.sny.com. Produced by Higher Self.
The rediscovery of ley lines in this century is unveiling. Apocalypse is Greek for unveiling, the secrets of nature. Ley lines are the luminous strands that many are pulling at today, hardly suspecting what riches lay at the end of these subtle light lines. All ley lines lead to the planetary grid, the primary light and energy matrix, creating, enveloping, and maintaining planet Earth, our Gaia. What are ley lines? A ley line is a straight fault line in the Earth's tectonic plates. This is a scientific fact. Through these cracks in the Earth's tectonic plates, the magnetic energies released are very powerful indeed. Many people have claimed to have felt the energy surge up their body, and some have claimed that they have blacked out, as the surge was that powerful. How long have human beings known about ley lines? Our ancestors have known about these lines for thousands of years. Every race and culture on the planet has known about these lines, yet everyone had different names for these lines. All we need to do is to look at the ancient cultures of the Earth. Take the native Indians of the United States. They used to call ley lines spirit lines, and their shamans used to use the electromagnetic energy in these lines to help them contact the spirits. They even designed their medicine wheel on the spirit lines, as they knew that these lines followed a straight round line. How did they know about these lines and the energies that they give off? The answer's simple: the sky gods told them. In Europe, we are led to believe that the Druids called them mystical lines. In Wales they used the same name as Eastern countries, they called them dragon lines. We know that Eastern countries called them dragon lines as the sky gods flew in dragons along these lines. The Aboriginal people of Australia called these lines dream lines. Once again they claim that knowledge was passed on to them from the sky gods. The Da Vinci Code was based on Rennes-le-Château in France, which is also on a ley line. It is documented that Alexander the Great was guided by Aristotle to take control of the major dome centers of these intersecting ley lines from dark forces. Which is why he put his top general, Ptolemy, to rule Egypt. Interestingly, Cleopatra, the last pharaoh, alongside with both of her husbands, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony of Rome, were defeated by the Romans, where they eventually destroyed the biggest library in Alexandria, Egypt, before taking all the knowledge with them, sending us into the Dark Ages. During the medieval times, anyone who had any knowledge of Hermetics was designated a heretic, and died a horrible death. This held true for anyone who knew how to read or write, a heresy, leaving only the royals and the monasteries literate. Throughout history, all megalithic structures have been strategically built on top of these so-called ley lines. From the pyramids of Giza to Stonehenge, Notre Dame, Solomon's Temple, Parthenon, Oracle of Delphi, Rennes-le-Château, Ziggurat, the Vatican, D.C. Capitol, Mecca, Hagia Sophia, Aztec Pyramids, Bermuda Triangle, Coral Castle, Tesla's lab in Shoreham, New York, including all nuclear power plants, military bases, and stadiums, which are also used to harness energies, like giant batteries. Many of the sections where two or more ley lines intersect are marked with obelisks, such as Washington, D.C. Monument, Vatican Courtyard, and Cleopatra's Needle in Central Park. These electromagnetic lines of the Earth are its veins, and receive its energies from the sun that connects and affects every living thing on this planet. We are electrical, and our atoms are surrounded by electrons, electricity. Greg Braden explains it best by asking us, where does our heart get its electrical capacity from? We are connected to the Earth's electromagnetic fields, and our heart is our battery. Many of our ancient spiritual figures knew this hidden knowledge and meditated or prayed on these lines or megalithic centers, which elevated their electrical auras, intellect, and connection to higher self, through the activation of the 7 energy centers, chakras. Could this in fact be what the golden halos depicted on all spiritual figures throughout history represented? Many of our top intellectual minds such as Tesla, Einstein, and others all have something in common. That is, they all at some point have shared that their idea, invention, or formulation, came to them in a daydream or dream, which is in fact a meditative state of mind. For example, Einstein was very knowledgeable on the physics of the Kabbalah, and Tesla became very close with Swami Vivekananda, where through Swami's teachings, realized that his ideas that would come to him in an aha moment, were coming from his close interaction with these ley lines, allowing him to access archaic records. Nikola Tesla, who was born during a terrible thunder and lightning storm, used these ley lines to conduct his famous tower, which would give free energy to all. Of course, there are dark forces as well that were and are knowledgeable of these ley lines, such as secret societies and Hitler, who was very much into the esoteric realms, and worked very closely with Maria Orsitsk, also known as Maria Orsic, who was a famous medium who later became the leader of the Vril Society. Might I also add that days before the last blood moon on September 28, 2015, the Pope came to the U.S. He gave a speech at the Capitol, and then came to New York, where he went from Times Square up to Cleopatra's Needle in Central Park, and ended his trip at the Liberty Bell in Pennsylvania. Coincidentally, he went through key ley line points, hidden esoteric knowledge. It is interesting, and we should take notice that the Swiss lab, CERN, and the Brookhaven lab in New York, both sit on ley lines, and both of these labs have a hadron collider that directly impacts these ley lines negatively and or positively. CERN lab is the father of the internet, and if you look at the hadron collider at CERN, you will notice it strongly resembles a web. Outside of CERN sits a large dome with an opening on top, same as the dome at Saint Basilica in Rome, as well as the dome on the Capitol building, and same as the top dome of Nikola Tesla's tower. In addition, this lab has a large statue of the Hindu goddess of destruction Kali, right in front of its greeting entrance. Seems that there is a concentrated effort to affect and manipulate the Earth's electromagnetic fields using these technologies. In a JFK and Eisenhower speech, they both warn the public in detail and refer to this well-coveted group of elites as technocrats, for a reason. By controlling or influencing the geoelectrical grid, they can affect the Earth, and also indirectly or directly can control our thoughts and emotions artificially, because we are all connected to Gaia. Registering, digesting, and ultimately transmuting is the key. We can change the channel if we choose, turn down the volume, fine-tune the specific radio band. The grid engineer has the potential for transmuting, freeing the inherent energy by releasing it from its form of bondage, the solar and celestial energies by intelligent interfacing with the electromagnetic 1746 grid, through any of the 144 planetary round-table holograms, or terrestrial zodiacs on Earth. This grid, we must remember, is the golden alchemical bowl of electromagnetic opposites, and the potential of our transfiguration from gravitationally bonded humans, to humans of light, also known as ascension. Just because our accustomed technocratic elite, Lucifer, light-bearer, also known as the fallen angel of music, play their favorite tunes on their radio station, doesn't mean we have to always dance to that rhythm. We can change the channel and learn how to use the electromagnetic grid to play a more harmonic tune. Maybe they need a machine because it is only a handful of technocrats attempting to control the masses. When enough are awake and aware, the machine is no match for us. Love and empathy for humanity is key, and right now we are still lacking this, due to the lack of true knowledge. Instead, We are all quick to step on each other's toes to get to where we think we need to be in business, our personal lives, and even within the spiritual communities. The beehive is fragmented, programmed, compartmentalized, and not jiving together, which is needed to thrive together. The introduction and understanding of the reality of the local celestial zodiac clock system brings us to the possible interaction between the human and the grid. This is where the grid engineer and knight of the Holy Grail become one, alchemy. This unification of seeking the Grail and serving the grid is played out in the local geomancy of the zodiac landscape, and our direct involvement in this terrestrial grid system through a heightened consciousness interaction within a local zodiac complex. It may sound like a sci-fi movie to you, but these energy points all exist, and even more so, these technocratic elite make all their decisions and agendas based on this celestial and terrestrial knowledge. So you better sit up, take notice, and start your diligent research to unveil what they know, for we are in an informational war. If you don't know the game, then you are no match for the current architects, and that is exactly what they plan on. But how does an ascended individual voluntarily, consciously experience this huge planetary round table? And how does the grid engineer make intelligent, compassionate, and timely adjustments in the geomantic web of this vast revolving solar table on Earth? You are reading this because you are meant to unlock more hidden truths in order to better understand who we are, and how we relate to this planet. As above so below. An overlay of Kabbalah's tree of life with the mythic round table zodiac image is most illuminating. The Earth is one of the 12 resonating spheres, one of the 12 round table members, one of the 12 notes in the solar octave, in the solar tree of life. Thus, we can picture these relations either in terms of the tree or round table. Our body of the sun is expressed as a 12-sphered tree of life, with 12 nights, or 12 notes. Earth is Makuth, the 10th Sephiroth, representing appropriately, Earth, the 7th Sephiroth, Hod, for example, represents Mercury. In the human body, we have the 7 chakras which are energetically interdependent and activated sequentially, beginning with the 2nd, proceeding to the 7th, then returning to the 1st, the root, the seat of Kundalini, the fundamental creative cosmic evolutionary energy. Similarly, in this model, the Earth has a chakra system, arranged not in anatomical, but energy sequence at 7 key dome centers. An Earth chakra, such as at the Great Pyramid of Giza, Egypt, or at Glastonbury Tor, England, is a huge energy vortex, several miles in immediate diameter. Root, first chakra, Mount Shasta, California. Red, raw biological life force energy, precursor to deviation into individual life forms. Sacral, second chakra, Lake Titicaca, Peru, but also includes Machu Picchu. Orange, creation of new species and positive evolution. Specification of pure life force into individuals. Solar plexus, third chakra, Uluru and Kata Tjuta, Australia, twin monolithic sites. Golden yellow, maintenance of the vitality of Earth and all of its species. Immortalization of life force. Heart, fourth chakra, Glastonbury and Shaftesbury, England. Green and pink, representing the Holy Grail and the sacred spear of purpose, respectively. Throat, fifth chakra, Great Pyramid, Mount Sinai and Mount of Olives, Middle East. Blue, voice of the earth emerging, listening to the will of the earth needs to be mastered. Third eye, sixth chakra, mobile chakra, shifts every 150 to 200 years, currently coincides with World Heart Chakra in Western Europe. Purple indigo, moves 1/12 of the way around the world, westward, at the dawning of every new eon. Distills gathered wisdom of life on earth for collective advancement of consciousness, aligned with astrological sequences. Crown, 7th chakra, Mount Kailas, Himalayan mountains, Tibet. White, broadcasts the Earth's purpose or true will. Each dome vortex carry through the grid, some have been activated, but otherwise humankind has either not been aware of this divine potential or not bothered to make use of them to create the intended Earth paradise. The option, however, still remains. Because of their heightened electromagnetic fields, the dome enclosures were like immaculate, high-consciousness meditation halls where human awareness could be healed, uplifted, even interdimensionally transported through the domed exit points in the houses of the gods, facilitated by megalithic engineering. All megalithic structures, famous estates, obelisks, and historical sites are on these lines and can be influenced and experienced in mass, to elevate and change the current matrix. The Hermetic keys to the planetary grid are inscribed on the messenger's mythical emerald tablets, which summarize the 7 Hermetic principles underlying all manifestation. These are the keys to Hermes' geomancy. The 7 keys to higher levels of consciousness. The principle of mentalism: the universe is mental, the all is infinite mind, which is the fundamental reality and the womb of all universes. The principle of correspondence: whatever is below is like unto that which is above, and whatever is above is like that which is below, to accomplish the miracles of the One. The principle of vibration: nothing rests, everything moves and vibrates. The principle of polarity: everything is dual, has poles, and pairs of opposites. The principle of rhythm: everything has its tides, its rise and fall, its equal pendulum swings to the right and left, its peaks and troughs. The principle of causation: every effect has its cause, every cause has its effect, all proceeding by law, never by chance. The principle of gender: everything has its masculine and feminine aspects. Experiential knowledge of Hermes' principles through meditative interfacing with the Earth grid leads us into the secrets of geomancy. I believe that if more are aware of this natural phenomenon, break our mental bonds to the material matrix and take action locally as groups on these ley lines, that can be found all over the planet, then we can take back what is rightfully ours and positively manifest paradise on Earth. As the true empathetic, intellectual light beings, we were intended to be human. Hu means light being. Knowledge is power and applied knowledge is freedom.
I made a video of the 7 Hermetic principles and there is a link to it down in the description box.